Live.
Cool.
Let me scoot it just a little bit closer. Perfect.
Okay, we still got 2 minutes. So we're waiting for everybody. It's 3:28 California time. Do this. I gotta fix this. I did it yesterday too. It's the little things. 29. We got 1 more minute. We have the air on today, so I hope it doesn't bug everybody, the sound. All right. I hope everybody liked yesterday's installment. Okay. Yeah, yesterday we had some glitches. It got a little warm in here, Southern California, and the camera gave out because of the heat. So we kept the air on today so we can keep the camera cool. All right. Well, it's 3:30. Welcome everybody to the live YouTube review, portfolio review. This is episode 2. We hope to do these every day. I'm Art T. Bear, and I'm a 30 plus year vet in the comic industry. Worked mainly for Marvel and DC, but I've worked for other companies as well. Image, Dark Horse, Malibu, you name it. I've probably worked for them. So, I'll try not to make it as long and be as wordy as I was yesterday, but here's the new portfolio or new page for review. And I'm not really sure how to say this person's name. So this is why I focused on the screen with his name. So if this is you, please tell me how to say your name. And just know that your page is pretty awesome. And thank you for sending it. And let's get on with my 2 cents. So actually, I'll do it this way so you can see the first panel. Second panel, middle tier. It's good stuff. It's really strong. And the last horizontal panel. So that's the page. Like I said, it's pretty awesome. The drawing is really strong. So first panel is really good. It's really strong. I think stylistically, I think these were pencils that were scanned and then some digital inks over, because if you go really up close and zoom in, it looks like they're in pencil form, and some of this looks like uh, there's some digital blacks thrown in. So you can see the pencil stuff on his face too. So I don't think this, if this was a professional comic for reproduction, I don't think this would be a strong way to go. I think you would probably want to commit all to the black, the solid black, like that's down in here and in here and in the hair. So I would keep it solid black, and I would probably go in with a pin. This looks like it's kind of, well, I guess you could do it with a brush too, but I would hand ink this stuff because some of the hatching, it gets a little dirty, it's a little muddy, and then with the pencil it's a little hard to read. So I think if you were to ink this, it would clean it up and make it a little bit more legible and readable. So that would be my first. And here's this is kind of strange. Maybe he just didn't have a chance to finish it because the hair is partially, you can see it's partially inked and then part of it's pencil. So I'm not sure if he just didn't have a chance to finish it up or not. but this mechanical arm is really well done. I like the use of hatching. It's just, it's kind of a little muddy looking. The hatching's a little too close together, a little too muddy, like in here too. But I like it stylistically. The drawing's really, it's really good. Light sources are good. Um, like I said, like this face, you can definitely tell that this hair is all, it's all penciled. Even the face is actually on these two. Um, yeah, so I think inking would definitely benefit this overall. So I think if we were to look at the page as a whole, there, my main problem, other than like the pencils ink combo that's not really working, is that a lot of these figures, like her, this guy, even this one, this whole panel here, and to some degree like this guy, they're all the same size. Like they're just about the same size. So it's usually works better for storytelling and to make the page more dynamic or interesting is when you change up the sizes pretty drastically. So like a really pulled back shot, full figure, small figures, big close-ups. I think this would all be kind of, even though the first panel's sort of a close-up, these are all kind of medium shots. So I would think, or I would say what would really benefit right off the bat overall would just be to change some of these shots dynamically, pull some of them back a little further, and maybe go a little closer. I'm a big fan of, like, if you're going to show, like, this is kind of, it looks like she's healing him or something like that, like his leg is messed up, like, to set it up like this, but maybe have a panel that is just the hand and the wound. So there's no mistaking what she's doing. So I always think, if whatever the action is, try to take as much extraneous detail out as possible. So things that don't really matter to the storytelling of that particular moment in time in the story. So, like, this is really just her mending him. I think that's what's going. And then it looks like right here, he's either she just mended him or he's taken affront to the fact that she's doing this and doesn't like that. So this would be a good shot if maybe this was, like, just say if the panel was more like this, and so that was kind of the panel. So maybe there was the panel that he has established here and then followed up with this one, and then go into this one. Or if you could establish her here in the second panel prior to trying to help him. And then I'm not really sure what happens here. I guess he acts out so badly that she has to put him back in his place, and so she smacks him. And it's a good panel. It's good. It's dynamic. I think the perspective. Well, now that I look at it, I think the perspective is really off here. I think it's supposed to be kind of a worm's eye. The figures look pretty good, but the table is off. I think it might be a little too exaggerated. So it looks like the eye level, I think, is supposed to be here somewhere. So if you follow the table lines, it's really, really exaggerated. And also see this line here. I think if it came off the vanishing point, it would probably be more like that. And then these tabletops here would probably be back here. So this would be the bottom of this countertop here. I hope that's not too confusing, but that's that. Um, I fall victim of this a lot as well, but she looks a little bit like this lady right here. Looks a little like she's suffering from the I don't really fit in this space, so I'm gonna kind of smoosh her down a little bit so she fits in the panel. So I think she gets a little short-waisted, so I think it needs to be a little longer in here. She looks a little stubby, but like I said, sometimes I catch myself doing that too to fit it in the panel compositionally. And I think to wrap it up, I think this is it's kind of a little strange. So I think I would either break this panel where you see his whole hand, or I would draw the hand in the panel. I think what I would have done is draw the hand, like foreshorten it, like it's coming in here. And then you can kind of do away with this. Because I think it's kind of tangenting here, so I think it already looks better. Maybe if she was back over here on the lady here, maybe if she was just a tad smaller, and by making her smaller, it would compete less with these other panels as well. So, yeah, this is really good. This is really, really good. I like the style. Good use of blacks. The figure work is really good. I think this is pretty darn close to being professional, like mainstream superhero type comics. So keep working. I think overall, try to perfect your inks versus pencil, just for clarity. Think about perspective a little bit more. Yeah, also this guy might be a little high in the composition, so he should probably be lower. I also wouldn't exaggerate this perspective as much. I think it's too exaggerated. So if you brought the eye level up a little bit more or exaggerated this less, I think he would probably be okay. Because right here is the floor. So I think if we got rid of some of this stuff here, you could see it. But like I said, it's even this is a little too exaggerated, what I did. So yeah, it's really good. So keep working, keep at it. It looks really good. I would say if you worked really hard for like the next 8 months, maybe a little longer, but worked really, really hard, I think you could be there, um, and get some professional work out of this. So I hope that all worked out for you there. I'm gonna go on to the next guy, and I don't know if you can see. Let me see if I can blow it up on. I'm gonna be horrible with names, so I can say Anthony, but not sure his last name there. So this is Anthony's work, and I absolutely love Anthony's stuff. I I think there's a little bit of work still left, but it's really fun. It reminds me of kind of like some underground comic, but I like the storytelling. Um, I like the four panels across. I like him reaching out. This is a great alarm clock. Um, the lamp's a little weak. Some of the drawing, but I think the drawing is stylized, but like the arms a little long, and some of the folds in the shirt are weird. But overall, like it looks like he's using some photograph work, and so where the photographs he's using look really strong. I think some of this where it's not using the photographs as much is not as strong. So I would say stay with the photograph work as your reference. And this, this I absolutely love. I don't want to say anything about this because I just love it. Um, how could you not love like a giant orb head? That's just perfect. So yeah, I think Anthony's got a nice quirky style. I like kind of the duotone or zipatone shade, the textures. I think it looks like a fun story to me. Like it's really quirky. I'd say if you're kind of photographic, maybe start looking at photographs a little bit more. Um, and some of the stuff's a little busted up, but I think you have a pretty good understanding. And I think if you start looking at how this stuff works, like get a friend and pose. Like some of this stuff's pretty simple, um, like staging that you have the figures in. So I think if you took some pictures of your friends or had your friends take pictures of you, it would solve a lot of this problem, like in the arm here, like the shoulder and stuff. But and even the bed, like just take pictures. I think it would definitely benefit your style really well. So wow, I'm actually going fast on this one versus yesterday that I took a long time. I'm trying to keep these about 15-20 minutes, so 45 minutes, so that's 15 minutes. And so I guess yeah, so this will be for tomorrow. I'm not sure. I didn't. Oh, it's John. This guy is John Vital or Vital, and we'll go over John's work tomorrow. So thank you all. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to keep doing this. Like I said yesterday, you guys have overwhelmed me. My goodness, we have hundreds of submissions. Well, not submissions, but portfolios. And this is a lot of fun. And I hope you guys don't take it too much to heart. It's just my point of view, just a little bit of me trying to give back to a community that gave so much to me. So, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at 3:30.